My aim was to capture correctly exposed footage for the needs of the film when shooting day for night. This was an important job because we wanted the day for night effect to look believable and well done. In pre-production, when researching day for night, the first things that were clear to me were that you needed to underexpose your image, use practical lights, do not shoot the sky, and be aware of shadows. Although I learned all these things, I believe that I did not go into enough detail about the information that I found. It was my intention to book out equipment and carry out primary research to see how the camera reacted in different environments and under different conditions. For example, I wanted to see how the inbuilt ND filters in the Canon C300 Mark II affected the color and exposure of the image. The plan was to record pieces of footage with different lighting conditions, for example sunny, shade and overcast, then changing the ND filter, then repeating the test but instead of using ND filters, decreasing the f-stop. The next step after that would have been to put all these images into Premiere Pro and color grade it. This would have allowed me to see what settings work best for which conditions, and I would have also learnt what to look out for example bright spots or harsh shadows. I feel like my approach to this project was somewhat disorganised. I did not leave myself with enough time to carry out these necessary tests, and instead had to follow research done by other people, in which most cases was not specific enough to my own work. Looking back at my work ethic now, I feel like my work ethic needs to improve. I need to work on my time management and improve on prioritising certain tasks. If I was able to improve these things, my research would have been better and I would have had a deeper understanding of the day for night technique. The day for night shoot consisted of on-location filming in Epping Forest. On day one, the weather was good, it was overcast but it wasn't raining. However, the tree cover was quite heavy, which made it dark in some of the areas of the forest. This meant that I did not need to use the ND filters as they would have made the image too dark. However, now looking back at the footage, we should have made use of the reflectors that we had, as some shots on Tia's face were underexposed too much, and when converting the footage into day for night and post, we unfortunately lost a lot of detail. Analysing my work, I should have taken more time to learn about the lenses and the different focal lengths and what they look like. I now feel that this meant that I made the wrong choice, as now looking back at the footage, when using the 25mm lens, I don't think it looked as aesthetic as I had imagined. The footage from day 2 looked a lot better as I used the 50mm lens. This helped me to achieve a shallow depth of field by using ND filters. Although I feel like my research was not in depth enough, I know that it helped me a lot on shoot. I knew what to do when the light changed, and although there are some shots in the film where the sky is clearly visible, most of the time I had it in mind and framed accordingly. I also used the ND filters in the camera to control light levels, which was important as I wanted to achieve a believable day for night effect. One aspect that I did not account for in the film was using a practical light. We used that at the start of the shoot, but the actor struggled with pointing it directly at the lens. We did not have a second torch for the actor to use, which looking back at it now, would have made a lot of sense and would have added another element to the day for night. I think that this was due to poor planning and we would have benefited from this extra prop in the long run. In the post-production stage, it was not in the original plan that Georgina and I would do the colour grading. However, after discussing this with our supervising tutor, we decided that because we had both already completed some research that it would be best that her and I tackled this job. The expectation at first was that we were going to colour grade in Premiere Pro, as we both knew the software well and were confident in that. However, our editor chose to edit in Final Cut Pro. At first this was not an issue as we were simply going to convert the footage, but this turned out to be impossible. Georgina and I ended up having to grade it in Final Cut, as a software which we were not familiar with. As soon as I learned that we had to use FC, I should have done some research to learn the colour grade before actually starting any work. This resulted in us both wasting a lot of time. After using the software, we found a way to colour grade the footage in a more efficient way that also meant a more consistent result. The footage had also a more appealing look and was more stylistically accurate to what I had imagined for the film in the first place. This also meant that if I did research beforehand, it would have saved us a lot of time. However, comparing the footage to some clips from Mad Max Fury Road, I feel like the quality of our footage is very high and is very close in colour to the Mad Max clips. This was a look that we were going for as we wanted it to be very obvious that it's supposed to be nighttime. We didn't want the footage to look like it had a strange filter over it. It was important for us that our audience immediately recognised it as nighttime, and I really believe that we achieved that.